Good morning, everyone. We're sitting here with Cody Smith. Cody Smith is one of our newest employees, but he's also destined to be our leader, our general manager. I don't know if everybody knows this or not. I've been here since 1989. Cody, where were you in 1989?
I was crawling around on the floor.
That's funny. Anyway, it's a pleasure, really, to welcome you to the Prairie Edge family. I hope everybody is going out of their way to help you out here. I know you're developing a relationship with all of our artists who have also been with us for the millennia, it feels like. Is there anything that you feel like you're bringing to the table now as somebody who is younger and much more dynamic than the rest of us were when we started here, I'm sure?
I think I'm still trying to figure that out because, yeah, you guys have all made it such an easy transition for me. I mean, you guys do an amazing job. There's an amazing team here. It's such a great family dynamic that it's really enabled me to like really dive into some of the systems that the previous general manager had. And I think my biggest thing is I just want to make everything a little more user friendly for everyone.
Yeah.
So that way everyone can kind of see like how everything flows through and there's not big question marks and just like the information's more available.
Now, you have a business degree or?
No, I don't. I have some schooling. I did some accounting for a couple years,
Oh, good. That's
things like that.
perfect.
But my background comes from when I was managing herd on the bison ranch. I was in charge of all of our numbers as far as calculating our land management, which was a lot more number intensive than it sounds. And then I also took over the budgeting and the financials for running that operation.
Right. And folks probably don't realize that ranching, farming, all of that is an accounting science all on its own. It's not just I'm out here tilling the fields and moving some animals around, you know. You
Absolutely.
really have to know everything that's involved in order to make it work. So that's great experience as far as I'm concerned. The land management, the animal management, the management of people, kind of naturally transitions into Prairie Edge and the management. But then there's also the cultural part of it, I mean, there's no denying that Prairie Edge is about representing the Northern Plains Native Americans, not just the Lakotas, but all of our nations that are in our area. And I'm excited for you and all the experiences that you're going to have with all of the people because there is a lot of generosity and a lot of knowledge out there and a lot of folks who are happy to share knowledge, because that really is the key to understanding is to share what you are and who you are so that people understand where you're coming from. So where's your family from?
So my family, I grew up in the Rapid City area, and then
Did you go to school at Central?
I did. I
Go
went
Cobblers.
to yeah, I know. I went to school there, and then I finished out in Hill City.
Nice.
But a big chunk of my family is from Hermosa area, things like that. So I've definitely been around, but that's been one of the coolest parts about being in this position is becoming more familiar with the culture.
Yeah.
I grew up going to a lot of big rodeo family, so I'd go to a lot of reservation rodeos, and my grandma was a teacher out in Red Shirt, so
Nice.
since I was a kid, I got to be exposed to it, but I didn't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
And so now actually being in it and understanding the stories and people's experiences, it's been absolutely great. And me, where I get to deal with the artists every day, I've learned so much, and they've been so welcoming, and it's been so great.
Good, good. I'm telling you, it's unique. Prairie Edge is very unique. The Sioux Trading Post, also has a long history. That name has been around since 1954. So, there's a long history there with the Sioux Trading Post and all of its experiences with the various artists and its former management and our current management there also have been invaluable as far as expanding our knowledge of other nations and other types of work.
Absolutely.
Do you do artwork at all? Do you craft anything?
I do a little bit of woodworking. When I was in high school and in college, I did some bead work and things like that.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No,
good for you.
that's how I did basic stuff, hat bands, bracelets. I would do bead work for my buddies who did leather work, so we could make belts and things
Oh
like that.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
But
beaded belts are so popular.
they are.
Oh my God.
I never had the patience to do the actual leather
Yeah.
work. I wish I would, but that takes a special person.
Even though I've been here as long as I have, I am not a craft worker. I of course, recognize good work, the different styles and all of that. But personally myself, same here. I just don't have the patience to, and I also don't have the skill set to come up with those designs. All of the artists that I work with, it's not magic, but you do have to have that quality where you can come up with those styles
Yeah.
and patterns, and it's logical, and sellable. I mean, I could throw a bunch of junk together, but is that really sellable? Is somebody else going to look at it and go, wow, man, that's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But would you like anybody, would you like to say anything that the rest of America should know?
I think that if you haven't experienced Prairie Edge, you should definitely come and check it out. Talk to people, and not just with Prairie Edge. If there's an artwork community anywhere you go, especially like the Native American art culture, go talk to people. They're so much more open and welcoming, and they're just so more willing to share their experiences and the stories. And it's been amazingly wonderful. I just don't think people realize like how much of that wealth of knowledge and that culture and that artwork is just wandering around out there. All they have to do is ask.
Exactly, yeah, because it's not really supported or taught in school until you get to a higher education. And by then, I think of like myself, I had a fabulous education. I really did. My parents were really into, the maths and the sciences and the reading and all of that. My mother was an English teacher, things like that. But the things that I learned when I started working at Prairie Edge, and the access to honest stories
Yes.
and honest experiences really was a revelation of how we can fool ourselves, or we can hide things, and there's some things that just shouldn't be hidden. First of all, you can't have an honest conversation with anyone without truth first.
Sure.
And if you don't start off with truth, then there is no honesty in your conversation. There's no resolution. There's no getting beyond anything or learning how to live with anything. But, once you get that acceptance, or even just acknowledgement, you don't really have to accept the things that have happened. But if you acknowledge the things that have happened, then you can sort of expand and beyond and grow, from there. But it does start with truth first.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've always admired about Prairie Edge. Ray Hillenbrand, his wife Rita Hillenbrand, that was something that they totally encouraged. You don't sugarcoat things.
Right.
We're not here to beat up anyone. We're not here to condemn. But we're not going to sugarcoat it and make you feel better, because that's not really the truth of things.
Mm-hmm. Truth, trust, and transparency will get you really far.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. See? I told you, you're so much more dynamic.
Something like that. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Okay, well, enough seriousness. Anyway, thank you, Cody, for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us.
No, thank you for having me. It's
You're
been
welcome.
amazing.
Yeah, good. All right.